So we'll move on from that. So moving on to the Dallas Golden State series. So listen, obviously, Dallas blew a pretty big opportunity there. They had a really big lead out on the road in San Francisco, and ended up coming back. Which I honestly, the way I look at that, yeah, Dallas could have won, but I got to give Golden State credit.
Well, for people who think that Steph Curry just shoots a bunch of threes, I mean, yeah, he does shoot a bunch of threes, but that game I give you as Exhibit A of him getting to the basket. His ability to finish with either hand, but just to fling the ball way up high to get it over the defenders and go off the backboard and into the basket is ridiculous. Okay, like either way, and he can get up to the basket and then swing over whatever he does. I mean, yeah, he was awesome doing that.
And the other thing is Golden State doesn't shoot anywhere near as many threes as these other teams do. Boston's shooting 40 every game. Dallas is shooting 40 every game. So, this is just ridiculous that Golden State, they annihilated Dallas in mid-range in that game. So, I think, Golden State is just getting great play from Kevon Looney and Draymond Green and these other guys on their team and Wiggins that, I really thought, I still think Dallas has a shot, but I really thought Dallas had a real chance, to do some damage in this series, and Golden State's making me look bad. And I got to acknowledge, that they were fantastic in that game. They deserve all the praise they get.
I think some of it is just the fact that, now granted, not everyone who's on the team now was there when they were winning all the titles, but Kevon Looney's been there a while. Yep. He's been in that system a while. Draymond Green, obviously, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Jordan Poole has come up through Golden State's system. So all the moving without the ball and all the movement and all the different things that they're doing, because everyone thinks, they just shoot a bunch of threes. They shoot threes to open up the paint so they can drive in there. Steph can drive in there. Jordan Poole can drive in there. Klay Thompson drives in there sometimes. Or they can just move in and bring the defense toward them and pass it to a big guy to dunk or get a layup. So, yeah, they were really impressive, just the way that their system kind of works, and they kind of know where they're supposed to be and they know what they're supposed to do. And there's obviously something to be said for that. So, there's obviously concerns about Golden State. And we were kind of talking earlier this week that people are thinking, Golden State's back. It's like, nah, I think maybe they can compete for a title like this year and maybe next year, but it's going to be tougher because, Steph's not as good of a shooter as he used to be. Klay Thompson is just not the same guy because he had two absolutely devastating injuries. He's given him the best that he's got, but he's obviously not what he used to be. So
yeah, offensively he can still be really good. On defense, which is what they really needed him for.
Yeah.
It's not the same anymore. So yeah, I think, I still think Dallas has a chance. It makes me laugh. All of the people that were like, they've got all these guys to throw at Luka. That's not the issue. Luka is going to score, and he's going to score no matter what you do. So I just think this idea that, they've got the answers for Luka. No, they don't.
Well, and to be fair, Dallas missed shots in the second half.
Yep.
So, and then Golden State kind of converted that. I mean, granted, Golden State did do some good things on defense, but it's just kind of, that's not really
the other thing that really works against Dallas is Dallas plays really slow. And, that Golden State plays at a higher pace than anybody left in the playoffs. And they take advantage of that. They take advantage of you by doing that. And so Golden State, like one thing I noticed with Miami is they're pretty good at this anyway, but in that game last night, they were excellent at getting back on defense. They did not at any point allow Boston to get easy baskets by just getting up the floor quick. They got back on defense, and did a great job with it. And so, yeah, Golden State on defense is playing really well. I don't think, like I said, it's not like, they're stopping Luke. No, it's a completely different thing. And I think Dallas, going from playing Phoenix to playing Golden State's offense is just a completely different animal. The multiple things that Golden State does at one time, all of the actions, all the movement, it's just really, really hard to adjust to.
Yeah, and Phoenix doesn't do that. So, that's why I think, like, I didn't know who to pick in this series. Like, I could make an argument either way, but now at this point Dallas has to win 4 out of 5, and can they figure out Golden State's offense quickly enough so their defense can kind of lock in, and then they can kind of get into a groove. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Dallas will definitely win one game. They maybe win two games. But yeah, I hope Dallas can extend it as long as they can. We'll see. We saw in the last series Dallas once it got to game 4, game 5, it's weird to say Dallas kind of figured Phoenix out over the series because they kept getting blown out. So it's kind of hard to say that. So yeah, but I look forward to this. It's really fun.
Well, but
basketball.
In the NBA, one of the things I think everybody forgets is that in a series, teams, their effort waxes and wanes over the course of the series. And you have to factor that in when you're analyzing stuff, because the team could get blown out in one game and then come back in the next game and look good. That was happening in the 80s and the 90s. So,
yeah. So, do you think this is the last shot for Golden State? Like, this might be their last chance to win the title? Because I do.
Probably their last best shot. But next year maybe they got a shot. You're bringing everybody back. Maybe Jordan Poole's better. I'm trying to think if you can get, James Wiseman to be healthy and actually contribute to the team, maybe that'll kind of help them, So, but yeah, I think people need to remember oh, well, they're developing these other players. And I'm like, yeah, but is any one of them Steph Curry?
Right.
Because guys, you need to understand, you're like, well, Golden State shoots all these threes and that's what, no. Steph Curry's the greatest 3-point shooter of all time. And in his prime, Klay Thompson was unbelievable. Okay, so you have two of those. That's how their whole system was predicated on. You were so terrified of them shooting threes that you come out toward them and it opens things up in the paint. So and people are like, it's kind of like in the NFL when they say, well, this running back, and Dan Le Batard used to talk about this. Well, this running back, I think he's lost a step, but I think he can still be really good. No. In the NFL, you lost one step. That's not the whole thing, but that's a big chunk of it. Okay, that's taking you down a notch. You're not going to be as good as you were before. So, but they still got a lot of talent. They got a really good coach. They got a good system. They develop players well. That players are smart. They know what they're supposed to do. So,
yeah, I think I just think it's going to be like I just talked about before. I think the Western Conference is going to be a real bear next year. I think that they took a little bit of a year off this year, but next year's going to be a nightmare. Anything else on that series?
No. We'll watch tonight and see what happens.
All right.